Hello and welcome back to the Real Underestimate and another edition of NXT Out of 10. And yeah, it's a big show today because obviously we've got all of the fallout still happening from Stand and Deliver over WrestleMania weekend, and of course last week's episode of NXT, which saw some pretty major developments with Bron Breakker turning heel and yet more. So yeah, there's going to be a lot happening, and the NXT champion kicked off NXT, and the champ said he and Bron Breakker were supposed to show respect, but he let his guard down and Breakker exploited it. Melo offered Bron a number one contenders main event match before Dragon Lee, JD McDonough and Grayson Waller showed up. The superstars made their case about where each of them deserves to be champion before Melo said that there can only be one of him. And yeah, this is kind of a good way to set up the main event segment, which is obviously going to be a great match with all these people involved. But yeah, Bron Breakker, he wasn't there. He appeared later in the show. Bit of a weird role he'll play, but we'll come to that later. But yeah, decent promo from Melo, and yeah, all in time to kind of set up the main event and yeah, the future matches for his first challenger. So yeah, not bad stuff. It's then time for Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus Fallon Henry and Kiana James for the NXT Women's Tag Championships. James was in control over Fire early in the match, and tags were made before Brooks Jensen showed up in the arena. Dawn then took a dropkick off the match, went on, and James hit a sunset flip for a near fall. Henry got the X Factor and the top rope blockbuster before Fire broke the pin. Jensen then slid into the ring to hand Kiana her bag, but she didn't want it and ended up getting ejected from ringside. Henry was in the ring and took a code breaker from Fire, followed by a senton atomico before the champs got the win. And yeah, this gets 7 out of 10 from me. I think it kind of draws a line under this feud. Henry and James, I think they're going to go their separate ways now, and yeah, kind of makes sense. That's made it run its course, but still really enjoying the Fire and Dawn stuff, reinvigorating them. So yeah, good stuff. Chase U were out next to present Duke Hudson with an MVP award. Andre held a trophy, and Duke got on mic to thank Chase U before they were interrupted by Bron Breakker. Andre told Bron he was interrupting, but Breakker ignored him, saying that he realised he didn't care about the fans anymore and that he was going to do whatever he wanted. Bron offered Hudson his spot in the fatal four-way number one contenders match before shaking hands with Duke. Bron was about to leave but came back and speared Andre Chase. Duke was torn between whether to save his trophy or Andre before running off with the trophy. Thea helped Andre up as Bron tore the Chase U flag and left. So yeah, just when you thought Chase may be keeping his Chase U teammates happy for a while, Bron comes in. Yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic. I don't really know why we're not going straight to Bron and Carmelo feud, but while they're doing this, yeah, I kind of am intrigued to see where it goes, but not for Bron Breakker, which is kind of weird. To be honest, just see where the Duke Chase stuff goes. But yeah, I'm going to give it more time to spell it. But yeah, I have to say this is a very intriguing segment. We then saw a short promo from Gigi Dayton talking about her childhood as NXT continued, and earlier in the week where the D'Angelo family attacked Pretty Deadly and kidnapped Kit Wilson, continuing their ongoing feud. And before it's any Thorpe versus Javier Bernal, Kevin showed up at ringside as the match started, but Bernal slammed Thorpe's head into the announcer's success. Back in the ring, Bernal got some big moves before trying for a submission. Bernal then went for a near fall before Thorpe dropped him in a modified butterfly DDT, picking up the win. Yeah, quick, simple win, and still put Eddie Thorpe in while he's being introduced to the NXT world. And Bernal continuing an interesting feud there. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of want to see a bit more aggression from it. But anyway, it's then time for Sol Rooker versus Tiffany Stratton. Stratton went for a cheap shot early and took control of the match before taking Rooker down with a big kick. Stratton then got a standing moonsault before Sol into the corner. Sol came back with some power slams and got a near fall before Stratton came back with an enziguri and picked up the win with a moonsault. And yeah, this gets a 5 out of 10 for me. The match, I don't know, it was alright. It wasn't stand out, put it this way, I'm not going to remember it. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of want to see Tiffany. She's so good, more in the title picture. But you know, for what it was, this match was okay. It wasn't horrendous or anything like that, so 5 out of 10. Backstage, Duke was getting ready for his match and thanked Andre for taking one for the team so that Hudson could bring home the gold. Before Cora Jade was out next and took shots at Perez, Dolan, Stratton, Stark, Hartwell, among others, and said that NXT was her domain and that she had her name on a women's title. Lyra Valkyria came out and said Cora was just jealous she wasn't able to compete at Stand and Deliver. Valkyria threatened Cora and the latter went for a cheat shot before Lyra covered and chased Jade out of the ring. And yeah, Lyra Valkyria, she's had a bit of a push recently. So yeah, intriguing to see her push Cora to be the one to interact Cora. And yeah, maybe an intermediate feud before Cora goes to challenge for the women's title. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. Von Wagner then took on Ilya Dragunov. Wagner was unloading on Ilya in the corner right off the bat and hit a big hip toss. Dragunov took a big slam before getting an elbow strike, but took a back suplex as Wagner got back in control. Dragunov came back with a torpedo Maseko and picked up the win. Robert Stone left Wagner at ringside as last week they decided to part ways if Wagner lost. After the match, Dijak came out to challenge Dragunov to a match, and Ilya agreed to it. And yeah, I mean, this was a good match, and Ilya Dragunov really getting his momentum back. So yeah, enjoyed it. It gets a 7 out of 10 from me. And for Wagner, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like his character needed a bit of a refresher. I don't know. Maybe it even feels long overdue, but I think it's a good thing for Wagner and Stone to finally separate. I'm intrigued to see where it goes now. But anyway, it's then time for Joe Coffey, who was taking on Tank Ledger in a match. Coffey got some big strikes early on and went for an arm wrench submission. Ledger hit a big suplex, cancel the hold before getting some big lyrics. And Coffey was down, and Ledger got smashed for a near fall. Tank was sent into steel sets outside before Coffey came back with a big forearm and then another before picking up the win. The Schism and the Cream Brothers came out after the match, and a big brawl broke out between them and Gallus. And yeah, this was kind of just to build that up, and also Coffey getting used to Gallus as a threesome, and yeah, setting up the match for spring breaking. So yeah, on the whole, it's kind of just a segment that was there, but it made sense. So 6 out of 10. Roxanne Perez was backstage when the D'Angelo family, when Zoe Stark came in to make fun of the former women's champion. Perez challenged her to a match before Pretty Deadly attacked them from behind and tore up Stax's jacket. So yeah, I don't know, it seems like we're going for a 6-man intergender match there. But yeah, very intriguing storyline, and yeah, like I say, intrigued to see where it goes. But it's then time for our main event, number 1 contenders match for the NXT Championship. Dragon Lee, Duke Hudson, Grayson Waller and JD McDonough. Waller was in control early and was trash talking the rest before he and JD joined forces against Duke Hudson. Hudson recovered entirely on top of Waller and JD, who was already down in the ring. JD hit a big dive to the outside before Waller got a big stunner on Hudson. Hudson was dominating after a break, and the crowd chanted MVP before JD got a near fall on him. Dragon Lee got some big moves for a near fall on JD before countering the crucifix bomb from Duke. Lee then got a powerbomb on Duke before Waller came in and took Lee out before getting the win at the last second. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really good match. Grayson Waller, yeah, whether he's going to be screwed out of the NXT title again or something's going to happen to continue his stuff with Shawn Michaels, it's a new direction. But either way, it's going to be a great first match for Carmelo Hayes. And yeah, looking forward to that greatly. So 7 out of 10 from me. Overall, NXT this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a really good episode of NXT this week, I have to say. Yeah, there's still a few interesting things like the Braun Chase U stuff, but on the whole, Grayson versus Carmelo is going to be great stuff. And yeah, the storyline's still kind of taking shape after Stand and Deliver, but you know, I am intrigued to see where a lot of them goes. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and subscribe for daily wrestling news and subscribe to my channel. Greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.